Hey guys, it's TF Nut. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This is going to be of the brand new Bandai Tamashii Nations S.H. Figuarts Spy Family, or Spy X Family, however it's supposed to be pronounced, Anya Forger figure. Very happy to finally have this. I'm a big fan of this series. I love the manga. It's my favorite right now. And the second half of season 1 is currently airing. I think Wit Studios and Cloverworks are doing an incredible job with it. Anya here is a fan favorite amongst pretty much anyone who watches the show, and Lloyd and you are going to be coming hopefully by the end of the year, if not the beginning of 2023. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the packaging. Quickly want to compare what other size boxes we get with Tamashii Nations. A little bit wider here for Dragon Ball and some Jujutsu Kaisen stuff, whereas other Jujutsu Kaisen stuff like Season 1 figures are thin, like this one here. Figure in the box with a lot of the contents you see there, S.H. Figuarts Anya Forger, as well as it does have a read-up of what the S.H. Figuarts line is all about. I love that little Chimera stamp right there. You see where it says Spy Family. I love this green that's on like every cover basically that they've used on the box, but I also like the like yellowish, like faded yellow almost that's on the box here too. An image of Anya there, a little bit of like, not really a silhouette, but like faded in there. Anya. It does have Bandai Namco right there. Tamashii Nations quality sticker. Tamashii Nations logo. Bandai logo. I don't know what this is. Shop Pro or Show Pro or whatever that is. It's the first I've seen that. But on this side, it'll say S.H. Figuarts Anya, and then the figure right there with some more of those colors. On this side, you get a nice image of one of the funny faces of Anya and her name, as well as the line. Very similar on the top, another hilarious face right there. It does say S.H. Figuarts and the character's name on the bottom here. Very standard. Again, we have the more surprised face and some support numbers and website for Bandai Spirits. Now, if we look on the back here, you can see these different icons with all the different accessories and different faces, really, and then some different poses you can get her in. The character's name, S.H. Figuarts. We do have where it says ages 15 and up, and then a barcode in case you need that, but most of you are going to be getting this online. So, yeah, let's go ahead, get this out of the packaging. Here's Anya out of the packaging. This is a really small figure, man. There's a couple of problems because of that, but overall, this is very solid. The way that Tamashii Nations was able to execute this is actually kind of sick. Let's take a look at the accessories that she comes with, then we'll take a closer look at the figure. So this is interesting. On this flap here on the box, there's a barcode here, and you scan that, and it leads to Tamashii's webpage that has some of the figures' instruction manuals, including Anya's here. So I took a screenshot of what that would look like. And then on this flap here, it shows the alternate faces, and then a barcode for a Tamashii survey. On the inside here, it shows the alternate hands. So I guess they're doing away with the paper instruction booklets for these figures, which I don't entirely know how to feel about that. I'm usually... I'm used to it by now with the paper stuff, but I guess they don't want to cut down that many trees anymore, which I couldn't get behind. These hands are tiny. These are so small. These are easily going to get lost. I predict even if you have like the darkest carpet imaginable, these could probably get lost. Like, wow, these are small. I'm going to be very careful because I will definitely lose these in my carpet. The overall molding is pretty decent. There's a baseline of, or coat of paint, I should say, just mostly for skin tone. A little bit of a, was that splotch? Can I get that off later? That's annoying. We have another one in here. Detailing wise, it's really hard to grab these two and see my nasty ass thumbs. The light's not helping either. Just a tiny crease where the thumb meets the palm. So it just kind of gives you a little bit of like what a crease would look like. These things are really tiny, but they did sculpt like individual like knuckles and fingers on there. Not the, I wouldn't say the greatest amount of detailing, but these are so small, and the effort, there's clearly effort put into these, so I will not knock these too much. Now, the big thing about this figure are the faces. Here is the more happy, open mouth smiling face. The printing on the eyes, man, really nice. They give you nice green eyes, a little bit of like lighting or shadows or whatever towards the top of her eyes where the white is, you can see. You have the eyebrows, creases above the eyebrow, the actual eyes, and then really decent paint, more than decent actually. Like the pink tongue, a little bit of like a pinkish red mouth on the inside, and the teeth there, as you can see. None of that blend, none of that splotches together, so that's nice. Decent sculpting on the ears. You can see how that goes on there. We have this one here. The great face. Love the chapter that this face is from. Squinted eyes, you could see. And just one basic, not basic, but it's just, instead of, you know, a little bit of variation in greens in her eyes here, it's just a very little variation, but that's how it was done in the anime. And, you know, it's black and white in the manga, but it's done similarly there too. Even with a little bit of some small paint in the teeth there, it still doesn't splotch. That's really sick. We have a more surprised face. Nice creases underneath the eyes. Again, really decent paint with the teeth and the pink in the mouth. Really, really sick. Very small pupils, I forgot to mention. No splotch on any of these faces yet. I love it. Looking off to the right, there's this paint and the crease in the mouth there, looking really good. These are hilarious. I love all these faces. The only thing I wish we had was more of an angrier face so I can recreate some poses of when earlier this year people were putting her into other manga panels fighting characters, so that would have been great. But everything she really needs is here in this figure. So first thing I want to mention is in some angles, I don't know if this is going to pick up on camera if you're watching, there's a little bit of this weird like pink lighting highlight or something going on there. I don't know if the lighting's doing that, the camera, or if they have this particular finish on the face that causes this effect. Not entirely sure. It's a little strange. It's not very visible at all in person. Just wanted to point that out. So these eyes are done very similarly to the happier face here. The pupil size, but the actual like eye shape where the white is, it's a little bit wider on the happier face. So there's no problems I have with printing or anything. The paint and the printing on the eyes are great. Looking really great. A nice variation of green in the pupils. Even with how small that they did the mouth, you know, like the teeth right there and then her open mouth. The paint is really clean. No splotching in there. We have some nice blush marks for the cheeks. So we do have a little bit of... well, the hair's, the bangs are covering it, but we do have the pink eyebrows. There is some shading in the hair, like towards the ends here, and even a little bit towards the roots. There's a little bit of darker pink where it's a little bit lighter in like the middle and towards the top here. This little piece here is a lighter pink. And then we have whatever these, I forget what these little horn pieces are supposed to be that she wears. But there's really good gold paint on there, and the black also looks really good. No splotching on anything. That's usually that's usually what I ask for, is no splotching on my figures. So when it comes to paint, that's good. The actual sculpting and like the different creases in the hair looking really good. The separation piece where you pop this off, it is rather visible. That's what that looks like when you take it off. Putting it back on is pretty easy. So yeah, it is rather visible, but I think far away it won't be too noticeable. Yeah, again, all that looks really good. A little bit of a scuff mark, I think, on the back here. Just a tiny bit up here. And there's some weird darker pink scuffs that look out of place right there. So a little strange. One thing I want to mention before we get down to the rest of it. These legs are super tiny. If you don't take some time to stand her up, she will fall over. You're going to need some type of base for her. But she doesn't have any peg holes, so... on the feet, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to stand. She can stand on her own. You have to finagle it a decent amount for just a little bit, and then you will get her to stand. That was completely out of focus. I do hope that eventually we will get different versions of different outfits of the characters, because this is more of a casual outfit for her. She wears her school uniform most of the times. I'd like to also see that version, as well as casual Lloyd and casual Yor. And then some other side characters, of course. We need a Bond S.H. Figuarts somehow. The rest of the figure, though, the nice ribbon on the front has nice white paint. It's just mostly like a very basic coat of black. I think that they've molded the paint in for her outfit here. The joints are a little bit shinier of a black. They're a little bit darker compared to her sleeves. So that's a little bit, it's a little too noticeable, unfortunately. And they kind of have the older Figma effect where they look a little too much like discs and ball joints, unfortunately, here. I can live with it for now. When I bend it, Yeah, it's a little bit visible too. The ball joint and the shoulder is a little too visible too, because that's a darker glossy black as well on the inside. And then these are the hands she comes packaged with. These things are super duper tiny. These hands don't have the fingers spread out like the other pair. Just a little bit of sculpted details with individual fingers right there. This is all, I think this is a softer plastics in case you need to move her around, but either way, this is not going to get that much articulation in the legs. Skin tone is rather nice. See, also pretty good in the arms. Looks pretty consistent when I'm looking at the arms and the face. I think these might be a little bit glossy compared to the matte finish on the face, but it still blends in all together very well. And then you have what's going on with the shoes. I think a little bit of the skin, well, I think they missed some of the white, I should say, because this is molded in a skin tone, then they painted the white. There's just ever so tiniest, if I have proper grammar, tiny bit of the skin tone coming through on the white of the sock. You have to look really hard though. And then we have the brown shoes, and then these white ankle pegs aren't super consistent with the white on the rest of the socks, but they still look good. And then that's the bottom of the feet. So a much smaller figure. I could go through the detailing a little bit quicker because of that. And there's this character design is rather simplistic as well. So yeah, it's just so tiny, man. Which, you know, she's supposed to be. She's like 4 years old. But yeah, what they have detailed in here is pretty good. So I did pop off the face and the front hair piece to show you how this all works with the articulation. Looks like it's like a bit of a like dumbbell joint, but there's really only going to be a rotation right here at this part of the neck, and a bit of a ball joint here. It could go forward a lot, but that face is definitely going to get in the way, and then a little bit side to side maybe. So the head articulation already, you know, let's pop that back on, pop this back on. The added pieces, you know, doesn't really help that much. That's as far down as it wants to go. Doesn't really want to go up that far. Side to side could be better, and swiveling is fine. A little bit of a ball joint here. As you can see, it can go up and down a little bit, and then it can allow the arms to go in and out. And all the way around like that. You have to angle it a little bit, and then that pops out, I guess. Fortunately, that is a ball peg, and it's like a ball hinge, basically. Hopefully I can get that back in. There we go. Oh gosh, that pops out really easily. Upper arm swivel. We do have a single joint elbow that does get either right at 90 or just a tiny bit, a little over 90. So the way that these work, they're just sculpted ball pegs right here, and it's mostly going to have swiveling. There's really the front and back and up and down is really not going to be that existent. There's a separate waist twist if you grab the legs like this. There is a thigh swivel as well. In theory, it could go forward and back and in and out at the hips, but the dress gets in the way. And we do have, gosh, it could bend a little bit more, but again, the dress gets in the way of a full bend there. I think a little bit of a swivel right here at this lower leg piece. Swivel at the ankle. If you grab the sock right there, the downward and then the upward, yikes. The up's pretty good, and then the ankle rockers. So actually really decent articulation for the size. It's just some parts are hindered because of this dress piece and the hair as well. So I couldn't help but bring out what I believe is one of the biggest S.H. Figuarts figures that they've made in the line, which is the full power Broly there, with I believe the smallest one so far, which is Anya. As you can see, Anya is going to be a little bit over 8 centimeters, almost 8.5. So that makes her about 3¼ inches tall, just about. Broly is standing at 9 inches tall to the top of his hair. So you can see, like, 3-4 times almost this size. That's crazy. I have some other 6-inch figures right next to her on the right. The S.H. Figuarts Jujutsu Kaisen Zero Yuta, of course, is going to be taller. Over on the far right, we have a Good Smile Company Figma Rider 2.0, going to be very tall. Over on the far left, Marvel Legends Vulcan Body Black Panther is, again, going to be very tall. Overall, I do think Tamashii Nations did a really good job with what they could have done with this figure. And any issues here, I don't think is entirely Tamashii Nations' fault. I do think it's the overall design of the character, as well as the outfit, too. It does restrict articulation. She has really tiny legs and a really big head, so she can be very top-heavy and fall over a good amount of times. And stabilizing her and getting her into different poses, anything dynamic is going to be a bit of a hassle. Once you get her into certain poses, but definitely like meme poses too, it's going to be really funny, especially with all those different faces. A lot of great accessories there. Maybe an extra pair of hands, like pointing hands, or one hand that is holding the Chimera plushie. That would have been cool, but I do think she would have fallen over really easily if you put that in there. The paint on this figure, there's really no issues there. I'm really digging what they have with the shading in the hair especially. So overall, really nice figure. It's gonna do better when you have the other two in the family posing with her right now. If you can wait, hopefully she's not super sold out yet. She was sold out for a while, but if you can wait, I would wait till you get the rest of the family to get her as well. It's a little bit expensive for how small this figure is. It's like 40 to 45 bucks where I got it from, which is Amiami. I don't think it's in stock there anymore, but I'll leave some links down in the description below, or hopefully you can try to find this figure if you're interested. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.